G'day folks, Tony again here for more Renowned Explorers International Society. You may recall, dear viewers, that we're about to use our last supply to head here to this Viking ship and the end of this particular expedition, so let's get on with it now. The Viking boat must be nearby. Once you get there, this expedition will come to an end. You can come back to this place when you wish to continue later. Are you ready to go? We sure are. Onwards. Boats and bullies. The crew searches the hills and dales thoroughly until you spot in the distance an intact Viking boat. The crew rushes towards this amazing find. It will surely skyrocket your reputation at the Renowned Explorers Society. Let's get closer. Gasp! The crew is stopped by a familiar face, the French explorer Rivelot, #1 in the most promising explorers rankings. He laughs. Thank you, amateur. How very lucky you are to find this fine Viking boat just after me. Under Rule 24B of the Explorer Mandate, fellow explorers should help each other out. And I really need this treasure to affirm my #1 position. Your help will not be forgotten. Well, maybe. We're going to explain that this is our treasure. Rivelot continues. Most unfortunate. Maybe you should talk to my most intelligent and diplomatic scientist, Lady Cassandra Shafiq. I'm positive that she'll handle the situation with utmost respect while I take the vessel. Hey, wait a minute. Before Amelia can stop Rivelot, his crew scientist Cassandra steps forward. Hello, fellow renowned explorers. Why such a hurry, no? Let's discuss this matter at an easy, civilized pace, yes? She's not letting us pass. We must defend ourselves in a rank 2 encounter. So it's time for a little bit of a boss battle. So we can defeat this boss using any of friendly, devious, or aggressive. So let's see how we go. Now, if I recall correctly, Cassandra Shafiq is mostly going to use friendly, which means that we should probably go for an aggressive demeanor. So let's give that a try, shall we? What are we going to be able to do here? That's going to change armor. That's going to buff speech. That's going to make people feel more positive. Does anyone have something that is going to... All right, that's grit. That's not going to help immediately. And confident may actually help. All right. So there's not a lot sort of immediately that's going to make a huge difference. Let's move in and perhaps start whacking things and see how we go. Putting that spade to good use so that mobs are getting knocked down. Now, this is a brutal encounter, and we're the killer. We currently have +20 speech defense, so that's nice to know. We're going to move Jean-Pierre here into this part here, and actually, seeing as that buff, I think, is going to make people confident, we might actually try moving Kiwi in here first. Bring them over this way. Then we'll try this attack and see how this goes. We're going to target this one at the back, so Kiwi still has someone that she can hit. Boom. And now, indeed, all of us are in a confident mood, which is going to give us 25% attack power. That is what I was looking for. And all of these, I assume, are still now going to do max damage. That does indeed look like the case. Good stuff. Alrighty, that's the end of our turn, so Cassandra's going to get a go here. She might end up hitting reasonably hard, depending on how things are going. Okay, certainly now that Amelia is in that state, any politeness or any friendly approach is going to do more stamina damage to her. But there was a fumble there from this mobster, which was good. So yes, -25 speech defense. there at the moment. Which one is speech defense? There we go. So she's now much slower than usual, given what's been happening. Let's see how we go here. It's going to be half. We might just get amongst it here, because I think if we defeat the boss, we're kind of all done. So I'm going to try moving. Kiwi can move quite a long way, so that's good to know. Let's see which of these might do sort of more damage. Yep, still with that buff that we've got, an aggressive approach is still going to be the most effective at this point in time. And thankfully, Amelia has enough movement left here, and this should put the whole thing to rest. So we've been a bit mean, and we've won an aggressive victory, and Cassandra now thinks we're a brute. Cassandra is livid. Barbarian, how dare you attack during a civilized conversation? People like you are the reason the gods left us. And she leaves to follow Rivaloo, who has already disappeared with the Viking ship. That's an impressive feat. But while storming away furiously, she accidentally drops a map. A treasure map. You are left with a cryptic treasure map. Its meaning is pretty cryptic. Everyone can take a look. The treasure map is passed around. After investigating it, the crew states their interpretations of the treasure map. It points to a Viking antiquity site nearby. A treasure is buried deep underground, far away from here. Or it points to a difficult-to-reach area. Let's try that one. It points to a difficult-to-reach area. The crew looks around carefully, tracking ancient footsteps and following the treasure map for hours. The crew finds some valuables, but nothing else. Just when the crew is about to yield, Kiwi's idea pays off. A new treasure. So because we selected that as our preference, we now have a 75% chance to get the thing that was indicated. Let's see if it worked. It did indeed. The leprechaun, an amazingly bright emerald amulet for good fortune. That's going to give us some secret tokens, which is nice. 2 insight, 50 renown. We're going to take that. It's going to get popped away in our treasure. We now have 2 secret tokens. Well done, us. With this last find, your expedition still concludes on a high note. However, it's clear that if you want to be the most renowned explorer, you'll have to beat Rivaloo. Now it's personal. Back to London. So we've now explored the Highlands. Well done, us. We're going to get our summary. Our overall demeanour, or attitude rather, was devious. The treasures that we got were the Prince's Skull and the Leprechaun, which apparently is a rank A treasure. I like it. And here is a count of all those tokens that we accumulated during the adventure and how they tally into these other goodies that we're going to have. All right, small discoveries, interesting findings from some inspiring upstart explorers. Exotic location uncovered in the Icelandic Isles by promising explorer Amelia Kakwalska. Hey, that's us. Explorer Society board members are excited at the progress of this classy crook. I'll take that. So you can see that Matthew Rivaloo on 2,500 renown is the most renowned explorer. We're all the way down the bottom here on 137. Let's see if we can improve on that. Back in London, a magnificent job. The board of the Renowned Explorers International Society is impressed by your exploration skills in the Highlands. For this achievement, Chairman Pinkerton gives you an upgrade to your airship, which will allow you to carry more supplies. We're going to skip the world map tutorial. Well done, us. So here's our Renowned Explorers International Society membership. And again, more insight, more renown, and more supplies. Goody, goody. All right, you can see the research in the top corner here is glowing quite significantly. So let's open that up. And seeing as we do have a scientific leader, I'm kind of keen to go for this research route here. So that we can do more researching. So I'm going to unlock that one. The focus on observation to unravel the puzzles of this world is the most important idea of modern science. The crew has an opportunity to specialize one crew member in any of the sciences. Which crew member will gain a naturalist, engineer, or archaeologist perk? So we're going to lean into Amelia being the scientist. Amelia has to study hard to learn a scientist skill, but is determined to become an expert. What kind of perk will Amelia learn? So if I recall correctly, we currently have 1 naturalist and 2 archaeologists. I'm going to go for another naturalist one here. So which one might we want to learn? considering that we're exploring a lot of landscapes, I don't know, let's go for geology. Amelia learned the perk Naturalist Geology. Yay, us. So we have 50 research points left. The next one is going to cost us 15. Naturalist, engineer, and archaeologists gain +1 study when they succeed on the adventure wheel. That's the big spinner there, so we're going to select that. And I also want to go for this one, improved storage, which is going to give us extra supply capacity, which means we're going to be able to move around on the map more and find more things while we are expeditioneering. Alrighty, so I've zoomed in a little bit on the map here. You can see a bunch of different locations. Down the bottom here, you can see that we have the opportunity to lecture in London, to campaign in Paris, or to go to the university in Berlin. So these different icons relating to the same sort of chips that we were discovering as we were exploring. And of course, those get cashed in for these other stats, etc., etc. We can also go to the Red Market Square to buy items. We can go to Stockholm to get some more people in our entourage, and we can go to Madrid for a similar thing. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go into Berlin here because we can do some lecturing at the Berlin University. You can see if Jean-Pierre does it, we're going to get 8 to 12 research, and we get 2 of those chips. 2 chips for Kiwi, but 3 chips for Amelia. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to cost us 1 insight. You can see we have 4 of 3 insights. We're going to burn through these. We're going to be able to collect those. They get transferred into more research points. And we're going to do it again. And now our research icon is glowing, so we can go and unlock another research point. +1 study whenever you enter a challenge node of your choice for the first time. Student joins your entourage, 2 insight. I would like more insight because it means that we can do more of the lecturing that we were just doing. So let's go back and do some more of that again. Good work, Amelia. And another. And 1 more. And now we can unlock another thing. What are our other options here? +2 study when spending insight in Berlin. That sounds handy because it's what we were just doing. And while we're here, we may as well just spend that one last thing. It's going to give us a bunch more research. So that's good to know. And I believe that brings us about halfway to our next required batch of research, at which point we'll be able to have unlocked all of the observations. If indeed we don't perish. Okie dokie, we have other resources that we can spend here. So let's go to the entourage here in Stockholm. We can get more helpers. You can see during our first expedition, we picked up a lobbyist. Each lobbyist gives you 1 to 3 status from campaign tokens, and each student gives you 0 to 1 research from study tokens. So those are the helpers that we can hire here. There are more of them over here in Madrid, and there's a variety of different types. Also in each of these locations, there are specialists that give us really specific things that we can do. And these clearly cost a fair bit more in terms of the status. Over here in Stockholm, these specialists are of a different type here again. So they're going to give us certain stats when certain types of people succeed, and also are going to allow us access to more perks. This one here is kind of interesting to me because it's going to allow one of us to gain the Archaeologist Legends or Architecture perk. 250, that's a fair bit, but we might actually take that. Astrid Ellegard, the slightly over-enthusiastic professor who spits when she talks, wants to teach one of you Archaeologist Legends or Archaeologist Architecture. Who will learn this perk? We're going to give it to Amelia because Amelia already has some archaeology. I think Legends sounds good. Let's go with that. So Amelia learns the perk Archaeologist Legends. And now we're going to get 1 or 2 study tokens whenever a level 2 archaeologist succeeds on the adventure wheel. So Amelia doing archaeology style adventures is going to be good for us. All right. We've got a little bit left here to spend. I like to sort of take a well-rounded approach here. So we're going to take a merchant. We're going to go back over here so we can also get ourselves a journalist, and we can also get ourselves a trader. And then because I like science a lot, let's go with one more student. And now we are out of currency to be able to do anything further there. We're not, however, out of money. So let's go over here to the shop and see what else we can buy. Cheap gloves. Would be nice to sell it. We have a fair batch of gold. We might actually upgrade the store to unlock some more things. What's the machete going to be? Gain the athlete's stamina perk. Do you already have stamina? You do, so we don't really need that for Jean-Pierre. Translation guide. All exciting abilities gain plus 10 speech power. That might be handy. So we might buy that. We're going to pop that here. So we'll pop it straight into Amelia. Oh, I guess we can't do that. Pop it there. We're going to bring this over here. We'll sell that one. And we'll give Amelia... Oh, that was in a different slot. Silly me. I probably should have checked. Trinkets. All right. Offense. Okay, we can get a better book there as well, which might be nice. So we might actually slot that one over there so we're not giving Amelia all the cool stuff. Good book. Plus 8 speech power, plus 3 attack power. That seems like a reasonable investment for Kiwi. So we'll pop that in there. 64 gold. Is that going to give us enough to get Jean-Pierre a trinket that means anything? It doesn't look like it. Decent gloves is better than cheap gloves, but not as good as good gloves. Plus 4 attack power, plus 1 speech. So yeah, we'll do that as well. We'll sell that. We'll get some decent gloves. We'll pop those on. Oops. Now everybody's got a little bit more stuff. Yay us. So we've sort of spent all of our, or the majority of all of our tokens and currencies there. So we're going to go on another expedition. We have a variety here to choose from. We've already been to the Icelandic Isles. It's the one that we just completed. We could go to the Hungarian Fort, which is a 2-star. We can go to the Mali Mystery, which is a 2-star. Or we can go to the Caribbean Island, which is a 2-star. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves, so I like pirates in the Caribbean. Let's go there. Roche's Lost Treasure, difficulty 2 stars. The once fierce Dutch pirate Roche, I don't know how to pronunciate, disappeared many years ago after burying his pirate treasure. Monkeys and smugglers will oppose you, and an aggressive approach could make it easier. Weak and aggressive, that's good. Expect nature challenge, good. And technique challenge in abundance. There is a lot to study for research. This certainly seems to be right up our alley. So let's launch this expedition and see how we go. The Unknown Expedition. Finally, you can start your search for Roche's treasure. The treasure once stolen from the Spanish Silver Fleet should be somewhere on this pristine and beautiful island. Amelia looks at the map you got from Pinkerton to find out where. A place near a waterfall. This map substantially larger than the last one. The crew sets foot on the beautiful island and looks around just when Amelia finds some man-made debris and realizes this island is not as uninhabited as you first thought. You've got company. Smugglers! They come rushing towards you. Our secret island has been discovered. We've got to silence them, mates. It seems they will leave you no choice. Here we go with a rank 2 encounter. Can Kiwi, Amelia and Jean-Pierre survive? So if we defeat all the enemies, we're not going to get any rewards from this no matter what attitude we take. So seeing as this is completely at our discretion, a devious approach is probably going to work best here. And nobody does devious quite like Kiwi. So what I might do is I'm going to move Jean-Pierre over here. They're going to try and sadden this. Actually, wait a minute. Amelia's movement isn't as good. So I may actually move him here. We're going to do that there. We've been mean. That smuggler is now sad. And we're now being provocative. So Amelia should be able to come over also and double down on that. Should take care of that particular smuggler. Oh, it's a fumble. Too bad, folks. I'm going to bring Kiwi up here. And we're going to do this new ability that we unlocked when she leveled up. We're going to be a loudmouth. This should be fun. And you can see it's going to do quite a bit of damage. Goodness me. So that's taken care of one of them. Very good. And we'll end our turn. What's going to happen? Oof. Big hit there. But I think we're probably going to be okay. Good stuff. Let's take care of business. Here we go. Done. That wasn't a fumble, so that's good to know. And then we should be able to wrap things up nicely. Let's try making people sad again. Very good. And I believe that we're done. Nice. So we still get some default rewards, but we don't get any bonus there for any particular attitude. With the smugglers out of the way, your crew has enough time to hide the boat and to start exploring the island. Sadly, it seems that this island is a smuggler's hideout. Better be careful. Ready to go, Amelia leads the crew into adventure. All right, let's get a move on. There's nothing over here, so we're not going to go that way at all. Technique challenge. An engineer or rogue may be useful. We don't have either of those things. Some smugglers are celebrating a haul they just made. They're having a great time. An ideal mood for a roguish character to confiscate some of that haul. So Kiwi's got the best chance. Again, a bit of a coin flip. Let's give it a go. Cross your fingers. Oh yeah, we did it. Look at all that skill I just applied. Success. Kiwi manages to sneak in and take a large chunk of their loot. That smuggler's party will end pretty sour once they start dividing their spoils. Some nice tokens there to kick us off. All right, over here we have an encounter and some gold. But down here we have ourselves a nature challenge. And that's more or less what we're all about, folks. So we're going to head there. The ruins of a village. The crew is curious about the details of its history, but Amelia is cautious. Amelia is definitely going to investigate the site with a 100% chance. Amelia carefully leads the investigation to a success. From local writings, Amelia concludes that the village was struck by a disaster that ruined their food. Amelia takes an urn for investigation and for boasting. Another mystery solved. Ding-a-ding. All right. What do we have here? We've got nothing at that location. We have a trader, but we don't really have any gold to buy anything, or there might be resources in this direction, so that's where we're going to head, and that should open up a good amount of the map for us as well. What a nice find. In the deep jungle, you find a rare blooming stasis flower. It wilts with an interesting chemical process within an hour. However, if you take the artifact now, it remains in this beautiful form for years. You could also study the decay process instead. I'm going to do the naturalist thing because that's why we have specialities for characters. Amelia will study the decay process with great interest and get a bunch of study tokens. Good stuff. All right. Ooh, a skull. I believe that's an epic encounter. Indeed it is. Should we give it a go? Not at this stage. I think we have lots of supply left. I guess we can come back around to it later if we're feeling so inclined. We might have an encounter here, though. You imagined this deep jungle was probably the turf of some pesky simians. Well, you were right. Kiwi makes a bit too much noise with a yawn, and within mere seconds you were surrounded by those impish monkeys ready to mock you. A rank 2 encounter. Let's get to it. Again, we don't appear to be getting any bonuses here. Very well. Friendly approach might be best here then. Let's see how that goes. So we might be able to use Amelia's Tranquility here, which is going to get everyone excited and make us more effective at using friendly abilities. So everyone feeling pretty chuffed now. And we're going to come all the way over here. Is that going to take them both out? It is. Let's do that. It's just too effective not to. Cranky monkeys, there we go. Okay. So if we move this way, That may end up being close enough that that we end up getting attacked. Let's find out. 3 monkeys remaining, I believe. Oh dear. So able to attack at range. Let's just have a look at the stamina bars here. You can see that this monkey at the bottom here has more little lines ruled in it. So this is actually a tougher monkey than these other ones. So that's good to keep in mind. We should be able to hit from range. I don't think any of these are going to be terribly useful right now, given how things are working. But if we were to move in here, and if we bring our other characters in close so that we're perhaps, oh, we can't get close enough there, that's fine. Amelia should be able to get close enough to receive a buff. So this Veroni sort of map layout means that you do have to pay attention to the subdivisions to tell how far away from everything is. Let's maybe hit the tough one. No, this one will be more effective. Getting rid of one enemy is better than only partially knocking down another. So monkey gets walloped. We've got a couple of confident team members here now. Neither of which can do anything because I don't believe we have any ranged abilities, so we're going to end the turn. So they're appearing to spread their damage around, which is nice. Even though we got healed before, it's always better than one particular person just getting stacked on. Interesting. That certainly looked like it hurt. Now, we can't kind of heal ourselves with these things that we can do, but we can what should heal an ally's spirit by 25 speech. So we should be able to do that here. And that's going to heal some of Amelia's stamina back up. So Amelia now is impressed and has a lower speech defense. But that's fine. What's going to do the most damage here? Friendly attack would. Are we going to be able to defeat this monkey this turn? I certainly hope so. That's definitely the case. All right. Let's get amongst it. This is probably going to be enough. Indeed it is. As long as we don't get a whiff here. Oh, and we did. I spoke too soon. Silly me. That's the end of our turn. If Amelia gets another big hit here, she might be looking a bit low. Taunting monkey and deciding to wallop Kiwi instead. All right. Should be able to make short work of this. So big wallop from Jean-Pierre. That's probably going to be enough to change our attitude now. Indeed it is. And that means that we should be able to... Oh, okay, that character is pinned. Amelia, I assume, is not pinned. Good to know. Are all of these going to work? Possibly not. Interesting. Speech defense, not terribly high for Amelia at the moment. So we should be able to excite Amelia, which is going to remove her mood and replace it with another one. And also heal some stamina up. So that seems like a win-win. And now that that is happening, that should be enough to kill in one hit. And indeed it is, because of that mood change, now giving 25% speech power instead of negative 25% speech defense. So let's do that. We didn't get a whiff, so that's nice. And we're done with the devious victory. Some more tokens. Well done, us. Threat averted. As a sort of trophy, the subdued monkeys leave behind a small artifact. They probably stole it from other island dwellers. Great, let's continue. We get 1 insight. Hooray! Anyway, looking at the recording clock, that's all the time we have for this part of the Let's Play. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you're enjoying this, please subscribe to the channel, give the episode a thumbs up, and even better, recommend this to a friend if you think they might enjoy it. And as always, a personal recommendation is often the most convincing and effective way of having somebody check it out. And come back again soon for more Renowned Explorers International Society.